to, being free, able to go and where I want to go and do the things that I want to do. Now I have a wife, someone to share that with. It's just so much.
Cornelius, I got to ask this because so many of our viewers asked. We're out of time, but this is an important question. Do you know what your financial compensation, if any, is going to be?
Well, I'd rather not talk about that just yet because it's not settled just yet.
Okay, I understand that. I certainly understand that. Cornelius, it is so good to talk to you. The best of luck to you and whatever is ahead for you. And you have such a peace in your voice. Good luck to you, sir.
All right, welcome back to Ghetto Rise and Take 3. Myself, Michael Johnson here, and my guest, Marshall Richmond. We're back from break. And before we get back started with Marshall, I want to read a couple of statistics that I've looked up regarding the Multnomah County justice system. And based off of just last year alone, there were over 70,000 cases of felony cases and misdemeanors and violations that went right through Multnomah County's court system. Out of that, there was over 722 juveniles and over 2,500 in mental case issues regarding people who have broke the law and had mental issues, which you hear today in the media about the police hiring people to be with them in cars just so because some folks got a mental issue and as you know, some folks have been shot behind their mental issues are truly abused. When you add all this up with the statistics of the numbers I just gave you and accounting the ones I haven't gave you of the crimes that are going on, the court system has over 107,000 people going through their courtroom yearly. And that was just last year alone. And so the figures for this year haven't came in yet, as you know, because the year ain't over yet. But that's just to give you an idea of how many people are going through that court system. And trust me, a third of them are Afro-Americans. Guaranteed. And when we do go in, we go in with a conscious mind of, well, we're going to rely on attorneys to help us and help us get out the situation, and we're going to try to be either upfront with it or we're going to be as slick as oil, as my brother had put it earlier, about trying to get away with things. And so I say to you, don't get involved in the court system because it's unequal, it's biased, and it's not for us Afro-Americans. And if you are in the court system, and if you end up going in the court system within 21 days of your case and you got an attorney that you haven't even spoken with for 2 weeks, my best advice is you get another attorney. And you can do just that by understanding how the process works. And the process, as I was looking at my notes, is that you got to file a motion or withdrawal of attorney within those 21 days that you've been arrested. And you have to schedule a hearing based on the conflict with your attorney and sign a 60-day waiver in the process. So that means that they got more than 60 days to take you to court now, which if you end up getting caught with a crime, you go to court, you have 60 days to get to trial. And so those are just some of the notes that I've taken that you might want to jot down if you have one of these pending cases going on or if you out there doing things you are not supposed to be doing, because sooner or later you will get caught. So don't do it. So back to my guest.
Sure enough. Because you best believe the system, you got the police, you got different agencies, and you really got to understand one thing. They work 24/7. They work holidays. They work weekends. There's no time off. The only thing that's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, hospitals, police stations, police departments, jails, prisons, and so forth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That they it's a never shutting down none of them institutions.
Yeah, they don't take a day off.
If you think you can be slick for a couple times, but guaranteed they're gonna pick you up.
Yeah.
And once they pick you up, their whole thing is to lock you up and let you sit there, because they don't care nothing about your mother, your father. They don't care nothing about your kids. They don't care nothing about all that. The only thing they care about is what you did illegal.
Yes.
See, once you realize that they don't care nothing about all that, then you better understand that they're not your friend. because their job is to lock you up.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, they gotta. When I was in the federal system, they got stocks in institutions. So I can go out there and buy stocks in the justice system. So what does that tell you?
Yeah, well, it tells you that if you buy the stock, and somebody getting paid for the bodies to be housed.
Ain't no doubt.
Somebody's getting paid much more than just your officers and your warden, but there's some investors out there that's getting paid.
Really getting. They got people out there with private prisons.
Yes, yes.
They got people that's out there that have built their own prison to charge the government to put you in that facility.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Somebody's got a house.
Yeah, ain't no doubt.
Well, my brother, tell me how you got here today. You was in prison facing a lot of time, and you started to do some work. As a matter of fact, who was your sentencing judge?
My sentencing judge was Gar M. King.
All right.
And he's my judge until I can get this overturned, vacated, whatever, right? So I'm under supervised release, and I requested a hearing the day I got out of the halfway house because I wanted him to tell me how was I being compelled to supervised release when you don't even have a valid conviction.
How did you get to the halfway house? Let's start there.
Okay, let's back up to 2010.
Is there anything you did to get to the halfway house, or did you serve a lot of time?
Well, I served 8.5 years,
Uh-huh.
right? In 2010, July 28th, when Congress changed the law, making my crime not a crime no more under that provision, because it's illegal to sell crack. It's illegal to sell drugs. But under that provision, they changed it from 5 grams to 28 grams. They changed the 50 grams to 280 grams. They changed the keys, 4.5 keys to 8.4 keys. So being that said, they eliminated what everybody was convicted of. Being that a person is convicted of something, because all you have to show is that can anybody find you guilty of that crime? Well, they can't find you guilty of that crime because that crime is not there in the books.
Right. So once you did that, so then they sent you to a halfway house?
No.
Was there any
I filed a motion. I filed my motion July 28th. I had to wait till November 1st until the Sentencing Commission revised the statute. The sentencing guidelines. Once they did that, they had everybody wait another year until 2011 to everybody to apply, right? Once everybody applied, once November 11, 2011 came, everybody was eligible, to file a motion. But my motion was already in. It was just pending all that time.
Okay.
So being that said, my judge, Gar M. King, he reduced my time from 15 years to 10. So on 10 years, you only do 8.5.
Okay.
I was already done.
Okay.
So I was like immediate release. But once the BOP came, my sentence changed, and the BOP got my reduction. They didn't give me all my good time.
Okay.
So I had to do 3 months in the halfway house.
Okay.
Because they just didn't want to let me just right out the door.
Right.
So I had to do 3 months in the halfway house. I got out the halfway house. Now I'm on supervised release, and I'm still asking the courts, how am I on supervised release when you don't even have a valid conviction?
Right. So
and the Supreme Court set a standard once Congress changes a law of a crime. If they change your definition, they change anything about what you were convicted of, then that conviction must be vacated.
Right.
It's not discretionary. It's not something that you can say, well, I'll think about it. No, it doesn't work like that. The Supreme Court said it must be vacated. Being that said, that you have to vacate them convictions. Now, what you do after you vacate them, because the person won't have no charges. Because see, right now, I'm still charged with 5 grams or more. How can that be possible when Congress changed the law to 28 grams? So my whole thing is, I have a motion pending in the courts right now, clearly indicating that Congress changed the law. The Supreme Court set a standard for what's supposed to happen when Congress changes a law. So I'm just sitting here waiting to see the result of what Gar M. King is going to do under the pretenses of what the law is. Because he could never bring me into his courtroom and say he's got a valid conviction. There's not a conviction there. I mean, you could say that I was convicted of something, but it can never be that because Congress changed it.
Right. So the issue now is getting in front of the judge, but you're not being seen, right?
Well, the thing of it is they got me going through all the loops. I done went through the Ninth Circuit like 4 or 5 times. I done filed a criminal complaint against the judge because he's compelling me to do supervised release when he's not even valid about the conviction. So my whole thing is that the chief judge of the Ninth Circuit wrote me an order clearly indicating that it's a decisional thing, that it could be corrected through the course of the Court of Appeals or through the district court, which everything is pending. So right now I'm just waiting to see what kind of answer my judge has to say. So my only question is, you gave me a reduction under the new law. Under what statute?
How long has it been?
Since when?
Since that you put in with your judge and asked him how long?
Oh, it's been like a month.
And how long do they have to get back to you?
Well, they can sit on it for about 6 months.
Okay.
6 months. Well, the Supreme Court, because usually they would wait 2-3 years.
Okay.
But that was way back when they had the power to sit on your case for however long they wanted to. But the Supreme Court came down with a case that says it don't take you but 6 months to determine if you're going to grant something or deny something. But judges have this thing because you can do nothing to a judge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't sue them. You can't do nothing. You can't nothing because they're well protected with their colleagues.
Okay. So now when I was looking up some things when it came to being in there, and from what it sounds like is that you did things yourself.
Yeah, I did.
You started reading the law, understanding the law, and then interpreting the law.
Well, I did all that through the course of me being in the federal system. I mean, you surround yourself around everybody that's knowledgeable because everybody has something that you can use. There's a lot of people in there with 6 life sentences, never coming home. I don't know how do you get 6 life sentences and thinking, you're going to do whatever, but they got a lot of people in there that will teach you.
Okay.
They will show you exactly how to do it. You can write I done wrote everything that I've done it myself. I've had no help on motions. I done had no help on filing. I have no help on nothing. Yeah. So everything that's in the courts right now, I've done it myself.
Yeah, and I bring that up because that's a self-willingness. There's a self-preservedness that you have within yourself to try to, the object we all know is anytime you go to get incarcerated, you go to prison or jails, the object is to get out.
To get out.
Is to get out. I don't know what some people, that's a luxury for them actually, the way things are in the street. They, get 3 meals a day, got a roof over their head, and, they settle.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Okay,
well,
that's those people.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that's like that though.
Yeah.
Because the fight is not in them.
Right.
And once you find a person that will refuse to fight, or they got people that because before I was in the process of obtaining the reduction and all that, they called me delusional. They called me all this, like he's really tripping.
Yeah.
But when the time came when I was walking out that door, everybody's face dropped.
Yeah.
So it was like, wow, he really is going home.
So you did a Malcolm X on?
Yeah, I did that.
Oh, right.
But I did it myself. It wasn't because of no attorney came to me and said, well, I want to do this for you.
Yeah. Well, you woke up.
Yeah.
Right? I would say you woke up in the thought of being away from your family, the thought of being incarcerated, the thought of having your rights taken away from you.
See, the thing about it is, just because the people were sitting up there talking about me, I'm still fighting for them too. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I'm fighting for them because everybody's in the same boat when you're dealing with a mass of people that's in jail under something that Congress took away. See, you can never, if a person put a motion in front of a judge and the judge deny you of that right when he knows that Congress just eliminated that, then how do you hold somebody in jail under something that's not there no more?
Right, which they can't, which by law, they do have to release you.
But if you don't have an advocate, like if I got out and just said, oh, I'm free, and just let it just be what it is, everybody still be under the pretenses of, oh, I can't get it because I got a career offender, or I got this. No, you need to understand one thing first. First thing is first. You got to have it valid. If your crime is not valid, then you have to deal with the validity of that crime. Once that crime is addressed, then everything comes after that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But once you show that, I just tell everybody that has a crack cocaine case, you're going to be under 841 B1B, you're going to be under 841 B1A, or you're going to be under 841 B1C, right? If you're under one of them things and you got a crack case, just look at the criminal code book and see if you find it in the revised book, and see if it's in there.
Right.